Good morning, everybody. Gonna go do a crop check. Actually, I just want to go back inside. Today's one of those days where you walk outside and it's so humid that you start sweating about the time that you open the door. It's not hot out, it's just about 150% humidity today. So first and foremost, a lot of you guys keep asking about these March soybeans. How do they look? How do they look? How do they look? Well, how about I just go show you? So here they are. These were planted March 8th. And they're getting kind of weedy out there towards the back. But they're still blooming. And for being planted March 8th, I'm pretty impressed that they're still blooming and not drying down yet. But they were a 4-1 maturity. Quite a few pods on them. But yeah, planted March 8th. Looked pretty impressive. I planted about 150,000 and got about 110,000 final stand. So, but you can see they've got lots and lots of clusters of pods on them. Lots and lots of pods on them. So they ought to be really, really good beans. Now, when I say I planted March 8th soybeans, I did it just to try the new planter out. I don't have very many acres of these at all. It's this field and one other. So, yeah, it's not like I did that on a large scale, but there you go. Soybeans planted March 8th. They got frosted twice, like turned the leaves white frosted. So didn't cook them too bad. Lots of pods on them. You pull the pods and open one up here. But yeah, you pull the pods. They're filling out nicely. So to the people that said I was crazy for planting these March 8th, well, I would have agreed with you, except it worked. So can't complain. From the road, this field looks really, really clean. These beans were all no-tilled this spring. They are dicamba, but the no-till dicamba fields are way cleaner than any of the dicamba fields that I worked the ground. A little bit of water hemp popping up, but not really that bad. Pretty good looking beans. All things considered, that field looks usually a little bit rough, so looks pretty good for the year. So this field here, which is right off the highway and right next to an interstate, go figure, has the worst weeds in it out of any of the fields I've got. I pulled a crap ton of Johnson grass right to the edge already, got the heads off so it wouldn't go to seed. This side over here is a lot cleaner. The only difference is it's sprayed 2 different days. Well, it was actually sprayed about a week apart. The other side was too muddy. But these beans over here, they all look good. And they look good, they're just not clean. So if my enlist beans yield right with the dicamba, I plan on planting all enlist next year, just because it's been night and day difference how clean I've been able to keep those fields versus the fields that were dicamba. For example, that's about how humid it is today. The air conditioner in here feels nice, but I can't see anything out the truck, so grind them till you find them. But first load is already on the truck, so I'm gonna take off with it, come back, put the sweep in, and finish cleaning the bin out. It's one of those jobs I'll be glad when it's done. Had to stop and get something cold to drink before I took off. It's hot. I don't like it. Here we go. Need to work on that bean head a little bit as well, but that's a project for a rainy day later this week. It is supposed to rain this week. I wish it would rain today just to cool things off a little bit. All right, we're here. They're expanding the plant, so that's kind of neat to watch them build that, but they pretty much make a little bit of everything out of corn here. They make everything from alcohol to corn syrup, feed byproducts here. Maltrin is their big product here, which is basically the sticky stuff that makes cheese stick to Doritos chips or things like that. But they have like no waste product here, which is pretty neat. I actually worked here for a little bit, not very long. It was swing shift and it was not for me. Found that out pretty quickly, but nonetheless, pretty neat place to work. Scale house, isn't it? Made it home and had just about a perfect load. You can see that I've got the door open, sweep sitting there. But just because I have the door open doesn't make me dread it any less. But that was about a perfect load. Had 1,002 bushels on there. So it was perfect. Test weight was 60. Moisture was like 13.5. So for setting in there a year, that's pretty much perfect. Grain cart's full. So I go ahead. You can see I got the scale in here. But I'm gonna go ahead and dump the cart on the truck, fill the cart one more time from the bin, and get that dumped on the semi. Be ready for my second appointment at 3 today. Now, normally I would just back the semi out in the yard, fill the semi instead of using the cart, but in this scenario, the way that auger's set up, I don't want to drive the semi out in the beans, so the way these bins are set up, it's kind of screwy, but working with what we got. Starting to get a little pile. Go forward a little bit. Not going to worry about getting this near as full because I know that 2 truckloads won't get it all. And there's less than 3, so there's really no point in getting the semi super full this time. I was hoping I could get it to 2 loads, but I know I can't now. You can see this bin is just about empty. It's coned down, going to the center right now. Hopefully it runs enough that we got a problem. I believe we just burnt the belt off. This is really less than ideal. I don't like this at all. It's hardly even getting the corn in the auger. It's literally just pushing it forward at this point. There's not really anything I can do about it. Yeah, I don't like this. I'm gonna try and figure out something different here. As you can see, the old belt is pretty much shot. Stuck a new one on it, or a newer one on it. I don't know. We've got a million of them sitting in the shop, so I found one that was halfway close and made it work, but looks decent in there. We're loading corn. That's all that matters. I'm sitting in the tractor and I'm cooling off because that pulley just ate the second belt because the pulley was bent. So I swung a hammer, kind of mad, at the pulley, straighten it back out, and it went straight through the pulley because that pulley's 40 years old and rusty. The pulley blew apart. No big deal, get another pulley. Well, someone at some point, rather than putting the Allen key through with a cotter key to stick the pulley on the shaft, yeah, somebody welded it on there. So I'm a little frustrated right now. I was throwing tools, so I'm gonna sit in the tractor for a second, cool off, and go back to the shop, find a pulley, get the torch, figure this damn thing out. Okay, we're back running. I'm not gonna tell you how I fixed it. There's a reason I didn't record it. What I did was not safe whatsoever, but I still have all 10 fingers. So I'll count it as a win, but I know better. I shouldn't have did what I did, but it did get it working. So Farm Safety 101, just because it worked once and you still have all 10 fingers, doesn't mean try it again. But we're running. All right, so I'm in the bin. Obviously it's still unloading. No, you shouldn't get in bins while you're dumping grain like this. However, this is a little bitty bin and I can touch the bottom with my feet, so just got in here to scoop the door, scoop a couple more panels worth of corn off. It's easier to lift the sweep up. The more panels you get out of that door, you don't have to lift the sweep as high. But hopefully get the sweep in here. Got, I don't know, 400 bushel and that semi will be full. So yeah. Now I just got in the grain bin and everything was going good. Yep. Burnt belt number 3 off. It's a Monday. It is definitely a Monday. Update. Make that belt number 4. And this is why it ticks me off that we keep old belts. Because they're dry rotted and not worth the crap, and I'd have been better off going to town and getting a new one. Having a great day. It's hard to make YouTube videos and not use profanity at points like this. So upon going through umpteen hundred belts today, I finally went to town, got a new bearing, new pulley, new collar, and 2 new belts. Fixed this problem right. Yeah, I was getting tired of messing with it, so it's fixed for good now. Getting ready to put the sweep in. Put it in any time now. So here's what a pulley's, you know, supposed to look like. Here's how a pulley's not supposed to look like. Well, here's the problem. That little key there, yeah, it's been in there for 40 years and it's seized up, and somebody has welded this pulley on here because that one will not come off. So I'm evaluating my options here. I'm gonna need a torch and a welder. I'm pretty sure there's a shaft inside of that. It goes clear through the auger. You can kind of see right there it's welded to it. So I think what I'm actually gonna do is take a drill and drill this out. Drill straight through it and run a bolt through that. And that's what I'll have to take it on and off. Really no good way to get a gear puller on here. Basically, it's gonna be big hammers, heat, and crowbars. That's what this project's gonna come down to. I'm gonna demonstrate why Allen keys are stupid and should be illegal. Now this thing is the right size. Pecked it down in there, so it's in there very, very tight, right? Here's the thing, you go and you turn it, okay? You really pull on it. All right, it's tight, so it's the correct size. So you gotta put some leverage on it. Put some leverage on it. And doesn't budge. Doesn't budge. Actually, I'm gonna bend the Allen key. So that's why these are stupid. They don't have near the torque. They never come apart. I hate them, I really do. Here's plan B. This is the correct way to get an Allen key or an Allen head screw out. Drill bits, that's the only way, because they're stupid and they suck. It's the only way. That's supposed to be a high dollar, expensive metal cutting drill bit. and look at it. Yeah, it's already dull as can be, and I've been sitting here spraying it the entire time. Front row seat with the storm going in. This is supposed to be a pretty big one. Load number 2. We're getting here about 10 minutes early. Hopefully we can get on the scales about 10 minutes early, but it looks like there's a couple trucks out here. Everything here is on appointments, so you usually never have to wait in line as long as they're on time. But you call in, make an appointment, and that's when you show up. And it works pretty good. I'm gonna show the good, the bad, and the ugly in this channel. So you can see, these are dicamba soybeans, and they look phenomenal, okay? They have a crap ton of pods on them. They're a heck of a stand. However, I've got spots like this all over the field, and it's not the fault of the sprayer, because if you really get looking out through there, you can see water hemp coming through everywhere. I believe, my personal belief, just look at these pods. I mean, they're gonna be phenomenal soybeans. However, I think that there is resistance out here. This water hemp, granted a lot of that's Johnson grass, majority of it is water hemp. And I do not think that the dicamba is killing the water hemp. I really don't. This was sprayed hot and heavy and still has a crap ton of water hemp. Granted, this is one of the worst spots in the field, but of course it's right next to the highway and an interstate. So I'm out here trying to make it look pretty with a hand sprayer. I know part of what I'm spraying is gonna kill the beans, but I'm tired of looking at the weeds, so I really don't care. The beans look great. I mean, the beans themselves look phenomenal, but I can't be having this water hemp. So I'm really torn next year. Can you continue to go all enlist, or if these out yield the enlist beans by 10 bushel, do I put up with the weeds and keep planting these? I'm really torn on what to do there. We'll know when the combine runs through the field. That's going to be the final test for this. I'm going to wrap up this video in the office to show you guys where I'm at right now. Here's the prices right now. So I have quite a bit of corn still unsold, and it's going to be harvested in the first half or last half of September, more than likely, maybe early October. That price is not great, but compared to some parts of the country, just to have a -3, -7 basis is really good. So I can't complain too much because I know some of you have it a lot worse. But what I'm getting at here is January corn, $3.41. October corn, $3.18. So you take your $3.41 and your $3.18 corn, about a 23-cent difference, which isn't much. So I found some grain bins to rent today. Now I do not own any bins at all. I rent all of my grain bins. They're scattered all over the place. Basically, after I rent the grain bins, I'm 10 cents a bushel ahead. Now, talking about 10 cents a bushel on roughly 50,000 bushels, it's $5,000 difference. Now, $5,000 isn't a lot, but in a year like this where margins are tight, $5,000 pays the bills. Now really, the biggest reason for me wanting to rent these bins is not necessarily just for the extra $5,000. The biggest thing about it is I've got somewhere to go with that corn. So come this fall, I don't have to worry about if an elevator's open on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday, or, well, not that I work on Sundays, I do, but, you know, I don't have to worry about, all right, it's past 5 o'clock, the elevator's full today. I've got somewhere to go with that corn. The combine can keep going. I can get that corn out timely. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Now on the soybean side of things, that is where I haul soybeans to. Now it's a lot further to truck, but their price is typically better, so it's worth trucking them. But you got your January price, $8.97, versus your fall price, $8.78. Your 30 bushels difference. I'm editing this. Said 30 bushel, meant 30 cents. Whoops. You rent the bins for between 10 and 15 cents is usually going rate to rent grain bins around here. So have some for more, have some for less. That's 10 to 15 cents is typically what grain bins are rented for around here. So you're still looking at 30 bushel difference, or not 30 bushel, 30 cents difference. Yeah, see? Got it that time. You know, and 15 cents a bushel. Yeah, it's not a whole lot, but you take that on 15,000 bushels of beans, it's still not a lot. However, it's just the convenience. You've got somewhere to go with them. Now, you can also argue that, yeah, you're going to have shrinkage. You're going to have, you know, you're going to lose some shrinkage. You're going to haul them all twice. You're going to handle them all twice. You got more fuel in it, yada, yada, yada. Well, the bins I rented are right next to where I sell my corn. It's like less than a mile away. So, really, I'm not handling it twice. I'm sweeping the bins out. I got time and labor in that. But all in all, I like that. Now, on the beans, it's anybody's guess where markets are. It's an election year, and political or not, election years make markets just go stupid crazy. You throw that in with COVID and everything else that's going on, markets are just weird this year. So having the ability to have grain in a bin and kind of play the market a little bit, now whether that's the right thing to do or not, if you could tell me and know for sure, you'd be a millionaire. So nobody really knows. You know, I don't foresee corn and soybeans going up dramatically. If anything, I think they're going to go down. Now, maybe that's just the pessimist in me, but that's where I'm at. Anyhow, that's kind of behind the scenes. I did contract quite a few soybeans for over $10 a bushel. I do have some corn sold for over $3.50 a bushel, but not near as much as I'd like to have on either one. I forward contract what I'm comfortable forward contracting, but even then, it's anybody's guess. So that's kind of the marketing side of things. Maybe some of you found this interesting, maybe not. Maybe if you're not even watching the video. I don't know. Anyhow, if you enjoyed it, drop a comment. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't. Tell me I'm stupid for marketing how I do. I might be. I don't know. I'm new to this, so anyhow, if you like the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe if you haven't already, drop a comment, tell me how stupid I am, how smart I am. Questions, comments, and criticism. It's always welcome. Hope you enjoyed it.